Your e-commerce brand isn't making 100K per month, and I know exactly why. My agency and I specifically work with brands doing 30, 50, 80K per month and help them surpass 100K per month. And within a few weeks, after fixing a few core principles within their brand, we're able to skyrocket. And in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly what we did to help fix those brands and how you can implement it with your brand or business to scale past 6 figures per month. Look, if you don't stick around throughout the entire video, then you're possibly gonna miss out on some key principles and reasons as to why your brand can't scale past 6 figures per month, even with paid traffic. And before we get into it, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mason Ashby, CEO/COO of Brez Marketing, where we've helped multiple clients scale past 100K per month, and pretty much just want to provide some value on this channel so you can do the same. But without further ado, let's get into it. Before we get into anything, let's address the reason as to why you clicked on this video. You're stuck below 100K per month, and everything that you try to implement is not working. Nothing that you're doing right now is helping you scale. You've tried to launch new creatives, you tried to launch a new offer, maybe trying to get new content, new photo shoots, maybe launching different products, maybe you attempted at rebuilding your website. Of course, some of those little parts matter, but what a lot of brand owners and business owners in general don't understand is that none of that matters if, first off, your offer is not unique. You're out here just promoting a random hoodie with no real compelling reason as to why people should buy it. Number two, you don't have a creative volume system. You're out here throwing 1 to 2 ads together per day, hoping that something sticks in the ad account when you're not pumping out creatives like you should be. Your backend systems, whether it be specific email and SMS campaigns, are broken. No post-purchase experience or upsells or cross-sells. And number four, you're just stuck kind of like tinkering things. You're not really building systems as a brand owner. Now the question is, how do you fix these and how do you actually scale? There are 3 main levers that come into play when you're scaling to 100K per month as a brand. And these brands that do pass 6 figures per month are consistently pulling these levers. They themselves are living proof that scaling past 6 figs per month is not some hard, like complicated system. Most brands that are stuck from 30 to 50, 80K per month are constantly tweaking or constantly adjusting, going after little baby wins without building an actual system that can withstand scale and actually sustains real growth. Think about you as a brand owner. If you're constantly tweaking things, constantly adjusting things, how can you really expect your brand to grow past 6 figures per month? You can't. I mean, logically, it doesn't make any sense when you have no foundation in place. Having a system in place is severely crucial to growth. As I mentioned earlier, I mean, we had a client recently sign on who barely touching 5 figures per month working with us. We took them on because we knew that if we were able to build out systems for them, make sure that they're on top of creative output and getting us the creatives we need, as well as specific creatives for marketing and messaging and angles and whatnot, we knew we could scale and pass 6 figs per month. And so long as they give us, sufficient amount of creatives and up their volume and are giving us variety of different angles and marketing to test, and that being building out a creative system, we can definitely scale them past 6 figs per month. I mean, we're already on track for their biggest month, so it's cool to see, but that just directly goes to show that as soon as you start to build out systems and hold yourself accountable and have, let's say, certain KPIs like creative output and how many creatives you need to be putting out as a brand, it almost allows you to solidify your inputs to understand and have good expectations on what your outputs would be, which is the direct effect of building out a system. With that being said, what are the 3 levers that you need to be focusing on as a brand owner? That first lever that you should be focusing on is your offer. There needs to be some type of urgency, some clarity, and it needs to convert cold traffic. Now the question is like, how do you find if you have a weak offer for your brand? There's a few different things that you can kind of look at to understand whether or not your offer is strong. And the first one would be looking at your engagement metrics, seeing if your ads are getting clicks but not getting conversions. Maybe customers aren't as excited about whatever you're advertising and there's no real urgency to go check it out and no like clear reason as to why they should buy now. Maybe you're relying heavily on discounts just to push product. That is not a good way to get front-end sales. That is something that we heavily discourage, is offering front-end discounts to push product and inventory. And oftentimes why this happens is because maybe your messaging is off, maybe your product and the way you're advertising isn't differentiated by your competitors. Or maybe there's no valuable hook, there's no social proof, there's no stack of value for that person to have enough reason to purchase. Now there's a few different ways you can fix a weak offer and build a stronger one. The first one being stacking up some value, so maybe adding some bonuses to an order, maybe limited time benefits, as well as just adding social proof of other people purchasing. You can also try adding some urgency, like limited time edition, or like getting a free gift with their first purchase. Essentially just time-based offers that push urgency and scarcity to buy now. A simple little trick that you can do also is kind of like ask yourself, why us? So why would consumers want to use your product and go with you to purchase and solve their problem essentially. Like, can you explain why your brand or why your product is a winner and why consumers should go with you? If you can't explain that and break that down, then that's a problem in itself. The second lever that you should really be pulling if you want to scale past 6 figures per month is creative volume. That includes weekly testing, whether it be hooks, conceptual ideas, different offers within the creative, whether it be bodies, different variables like models, audios, captions over these creatives. These are all different aspects of creatives that you should be testing on a weekly basis, not monthly. Now, how do you know whether that volume of creatives is good and sufficient enough? And that's if you're not running 1 to 2 ads at a time and just hoping that it works. If you notice ad fatigue really quick and you notice that your CTR drops or your hook rates drop and you don't have anything live and instantly there to swap place with those losing creatives, that's one way to know if your creative volume is low. If every product launch or drop or collection launch feels rushed and kind of random, then that means that you don't have a good content schedule, in return meaning that your creative volume is going to be really low as well. And this all doubles back to not having systems. If you don't have a system for scripting, ideation, UGC, sourcing, then you're going to be left in the dust and you're only going to be able to put up 1 to 2 creatives per month. A lot of the bigger brands too have specific creative teams in-house that they use as well. You should maybe start thinking about hiring people and getting people to help you out with that, because if you're a founder doing it yourself, there's so many other aspects of a brand that you're probably also thinking about as well. Your creative that you're making isn't going to be as high quality, as well as the volume of those aren't going to be as much. I mean, it's a super simple fix. Once again, that being implementing a system, whether it be setting some type of weekly reminder or it's weekly KPI that you need to be creating. I would suggest like at least like 5 creatives per week. That way the media buyers or us as an agency who runs Facebook ads can get into the ad account, already have backups that we can already implement, causing just like a flow of creatives coming in and out of the account. In return, finding winners quicker and being able to scale those up faster as well. It's also super important. What we actually do as an agency, we help build little templates, creative templates for our clients as soon as they onboard. That way we can kind of give them exactly what we're looking for, and then they go out and get those creatives made. But they have a good baseline and template of what to make based off what's performed best in past ad accounts made by us, Res Marketing. So that's one way to help out with upping your creative volume as well. And then the third lever that you need to be pulling consistently if you're trying to scale past 6 figures per month as a brand owner is making sure that your backend systems are dialed. Email and SMS, upsells, cross sells, making sure that you understand your customer's LTV, what your customer win back rate is, also like abandoned cart sequences. All of those are super important to help you bring in an extra 30, 40K per month off of those systems alone. And that's why it's super important to have those dialed. Specifically, having core email and SMS campaigns and flows set up for abandoned carts, initiated checkouts, flows for after people purchase are super important. And you'd be surprised at how many people come back around and purchase after getting one of these flows. Another huge thing to raise your AOV is upsells. I mentioned that briefly, but that's something that has helped us a lot in terms of being able to up our AOV for our clients, in return allowing us to spend more and scale out winning creatives a little bit harder, just because we have that extra wiggle room by people just, clicking a button and adding something as they're checking out. You'd be surprised at how simple it is, but how much effect it has, upping your AOV and being able to scale harder. And if you're watching this and thinking, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm stuck, then it might be time to bring in help. I mean, I understand that a lot of you guys watching this are probably brand owners who don't have the time to double down and focus on all these little intricacies that I'm labeling off. And that's where my team comes into play. We'd love to help you out and take that stress off your shoulders and scale hard and bring you to 6 figs per month. My team and I would love to help you clean up what's broken, maybe any funnels, some offers, up your creative volume and ideation and scale out winning creatives. So if you're a brand that's stuck at 30, 50, 80K per month and you want to scale past 100K per month, click that first link in my bio and one of our teammates will reach out to you. But before you start to pull those levers around, it's really important to understand where your brand stands in order for these levers to be benefit for you. If you are genuinely serious about bringing your brand past 6 figures per month, it's super imperative that you take a look at what you're currently doing and start to audit what's going on with your brand. It's genuinely surprising looking at how many brands come by, you see kind of what process they got going on, what systems they have in place, and you realize just exactly how much money they're leaving on the table. It's crazy just because recently we had a jewelry client come on. They were already doing a pretty decent job, but what they were missing out on was upsells big time, as well as pricing. Their pricing was relatively low just by looking at competitors as well as their conversion rate. So what we did is we upped pricing and implemented an upsell, and we're able to boost their revenue by 17% month over month, which is super sick. And awesome for us because that means we get more room for scaling. With that being said though, here are a few different things that you need to look at and start auditing to kind of help you get past and realize what your bottlenecks are as a brand. First thing would be to review some of your product description pages and your product landing pages and see exactly how well converting it is. A big thing that a lot of brand owners look over is the copy. If you're an e-commerce brand that can kind of take specific marketing angles, it's super important that you have cohesive copy on your landing page. That being like in the product description and whatnot, as well as making sure that your layout is high converting. If you have things play, like let's say for example, if you have your add to cart relatively low at the bottom of the page, a lot of people don't want to scroll. They want to see that they can add to the cart right away and purchase. Just having that placement down below is considered like low converting, and it's going to cause a lot of drop off essentially. Another thing that's super crucial when it comes to just running ads is making sure that you're not obsessing heavily over your ROAS. Instead, kind of look at your CPA versus your AOV, and then also kind of understand how many customers are actually purchasing and how many purchases within that customer lifetime there is. Kind of looking at your MER as well. A lot of brand owners running ads kind of take the meta ads for face value, at least what it says on the ads manager. But ever since the iOS 14 update, I'll say a lot of purchases do go tracked by meta, but there's a lot that are also not. It's super important to take the ads manager with a grain of salt and really just look at the MER, that being how much spend versus how many sales you're actually getting on Shopify. Another thing that's super important is to check your creative fatigue. Make sure that your click-through rates are staying strong, your CPC is staying strong. Make sure that your hold rate is staying strong and not dropping, because if it is, then you're not going to be able to scale that out. But even if you do fix those things, a lot of this also does kind of reflect back to how the brand owner thinks and where their mindset's at as well. As a business owner, it's super important to understand that your mindset directly controls how much your business can grow. This is a specific part that not a lot of people talk about, and this is actually what separates those people who do 30K per month from 300K per month. Think about it like this, like how could you expect your brand to grow when you're the one who's managing all the ad campaigns, writing all the copy yourself, posting and editing all of your content, micromanaging and tweaking the website yourself, and obsessing all of your daily metrics and dashboards? At some point, it physically gets impossible to scale. When you're stuck doing all of those things, you're kind of in this hustler mindset versus more of like an operational mindset. You as that hustler trying to do everything is chasing smaller wins, whereas that operational person is trying to build out systems that repeat themselves to where he doesn't, like that operator doesn't even need to be touching it. It's already rolling. Another thing that kind of separates a lot of these bigger brands is that instead of them being a brand, they're realistically like a content machine, just pumping out creatives for the media buyers to test. Constant and consistent content and iteration and ideation of new creatives. Find winning ones. Media buying, creatives, backend systems like copywriting for the emails and whatnot. This is all stuff that they delegate, in return freeing up more space for them to think higher level and being able to scale. The real goal is not to chase those little wins. It's, as I mentioned earlier, trying to build a system that repeats itself to where it's just flowing and going, and you don't even gotta like touch it. You can just look and maybe make some higher level moves and tweaks here and there. And for the most part, it's running on its own. Yeah, so those are a few issues that we see a lot of clients come to us that they have within their brand. If you are a brand owner, take a look at your brand, see kind of what's going on. Use what I had mentioned as more of like an audit to kind of see if your brand's in the right spot, maybe diagnose your bottlenecks and see what's holding you back. But with that being said, yeah, that's going to kind of wrap up this video. And if you're serious about breaking that ceiling of 30 to 80K per month and you want to surpass 6 figures per month, feel free to click the top link in my bio to book a call with the team. We'll help you dial in your backend systems, maybe implement some creative ideation and whatnot, just to really help you turn your brand into a powerhouse. Because when you win, I mean, we win as an agency as well. With that being said, I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope to see you again.